Muna nyato tati. Kawili luolo. Foki itaro ko salon bang. Foko koleal takilong ka tambila bang. Foka sube yalong purka hamol timandi bang. Imetan tol jalala ko mul miliyalong ko imanta kese bola jabato. Ndu wato wati mfanansa itandila ko tonya te okumoto. Njube bansai. Nkatile fo santo. Nung hana tara mamputa dandula fang. Isalom besilo le kam. Gambia dinkendol min yalon kay pareta le ka doko ke ka falinga ke molla satar nyala. Estilom brikama boyo the Gambian dream. Nkana dream soul build with global property. Innovative property solutions.
Hello wonderful viewers, this is Active TV again for another fast and a quick update. Mbadi ngulu mbalbe tentula mbalbe jaila mbalbe bismillah la kotake Active TV pour kana kibaro do fana bonda nan kotake mi yalan ko akabo Gambia banko kan andung abedendi. Journalist la mi yalan ko atobata adaraja kende ke ka fomi yako Lamin Njie. Famous Gambian journalist, anchor of the nation today. Lamin Njie recorded a Facebook live video where he expressed his disappointment with the UDP leadership for rejecting his already confirmed interview. Mbadi ngolu Lamin Njie coming afale nyameng mole matim yalan ko adarajata atobota kende ke atelo motim yalan ko anata Facebook ka video record kala jikila tew itandi UDP la nyaton kola ani UDP la patio interview mi yalan ko ya confirm already ko ate Lamin Njie ning UDP la nyaton ko e kafomi ko honorable lawyer Usaini Numukunda Dabo ebe interview sotola Lamin Njie akata moti mi yalan ko akenyin keta jikila tewde kende ke bilong interview nyinti bari nata bayabulu katun ala foroto ko UDP la nyaton ko ay la moy ala supportal la ay la moy ala patio dimle la mi yalan ko ilafta la kende ke wala ko ani Lamin Njie kana interview soto Lamin Njie la foroto mbadi ngolu chokoroka dia wala fang da kono journalist o fang dia muta ay 50 ko konyina adamuta angale kan la nim video nyin momonding imang angale kan faham isa video in samba nyato manding ka kan bije albe la moy Lamin Njie la kuma kan la mbedi wala Gambia banko kan alma ale Cairo sabati ndije watol bela. This is Active TV update.
So, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So, I'm just here to make a few clarifications regarding today's events. So today, well, this is an issue that started on Sunday. Yeah, it was on Sunday that I requested to interview UDP leader Usaini Dabo. In fact, I remember I closed from work. I was at my house, my dad's house. I was with my dad, who is a strong UDP supporter, a strong supporter of Mr. Dabo and that party. So we were together, and then I said, you know what, I want to bring Mr. Dabo on my show, The Nation, today. I think it's important that I bring him on too, really, to speak to him as leader of one of the biggest political parties in the country. He said that was a great idea, but he said, I mean, try and speak to him and see. I remember I called Mr. Dabo first. I spoke with him on Sunday. I called him. He picked. And then I said, it's me, Lamin Njie. He said, oh, okay, Lamin Njie from. I said, Lamin Njie, former Fatu Network. I want to interview you. And he said, talk to Almami Tal. That was what he told me. So I said, okay, I will get in touch with Mr. Tal. So that was when I called Mr. Tal. It would appear that he was even driving. I spoke with him, and then I told him, look, I have spoken to PL, that's party leader Dabo, about an interview, and he said I should talk to you. He referred me to you. And he said, okay, Mr. Njie, you know what, yes, let me try to arrange it tomorrow, and then I will get back to you. I said, okay. That was on Sunday, the 15th of May. So he, the next day, that was on Monday, I followed up. He said they were trying to fix the day and the time for the interview. I said, okay, then I will wait. He said, but before the end of the week, you will definitely get your interview. I said, okay, then that's fine, brother. Thank you for all your efforts. And that was it. So I followed up again on Tuesday by calling him. Once, I remember I was going to work. When I called him, once he picked, he said, oh, my brother, in fact, I was going to call you. Your interview has been set for Thursday at 3 o'clock. I said, okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Thank you. We will be there on Thursday. So yesterday we spoke. I said, we are going to be there. So, and then I informed my team. I told them that, well, the interview, they were so excited when I told them that I am interviewing Mr. Dabo. They were excited and ready and raring to go. So, and then I made my instructions were quite clear that we should make sure that we are there on time. So no wonder, I mean, I was excited about this whole thing, and I talked to a lot of people about it, and then I started preparing. From last night, I was actually preparing for this interview, the questions that I should ask Mr. Dabo, because it's been a long time since I interviewed him. I remember when he was being installed by his party back in September, I guess. I remember that was in the lead up to the presidential election. I remember interviewing him. But also, I also remember before that, I had a one-to-one with him. Yes, that happened. But for me to interview him, I mean, you don't always come across it. So I thought that it was interesting. It was going to be interesting to bring him on. I know there are a lot of long-standing issues between me and some of his supporters, right? That's something that has always been there since the Babaja incident. That has always been there. You have a lot of people who forsook me due to that incident, and that's understandable. But as leader of the party, I am looking at engaging him on issues, really, as leader of the UDP. That was it. It was in good faith. It wasn't in bad faith. So, and then the interview was confirmed for today. The interview was confirmed for today at 3 o'clock. My team, I gave them my instructions that we are going to Mr. Dabo's office at this time. So make sure you are there by 2:30. So I left my house. I was trying to put together some questions. I left my house. I arrived at Pipeline on Caraba Avenue, I think 1 o'clock. I went straight to LP because the interview was supposed to be at 3. So I decided to hang out at La Parisienne. I went there. I bought some water. I prayed there, just to kill some time, just to wait for the interview time. And then at around 2:40, my people arrived, right? So when they came, I was like standing outside because I was speaking to one of them to make sure that they are there on time. While I was speaking to him, I could see their car coming and I could see them taxi to a halt. They stopped, they alighted their vehicle, and I could see them because there were some people, some supporters who were at Mr. Dabo's house sitting there. So when they got there, when I was coming, I could hear them asking them a lot of questions, harassing them with a lot of questions. Where are you guys from? And then one of my team members said, it's Mr. Njie who is interviewing Mr. Dabo, and you have one who was saying, Lamin Njie killing Lamin Njie member Fatu Network. I could hear all of these things while I was coming. So, but when I came, I mean, as a Muslim, of course, when you meet people sitting, these people are sitting they were sitting right at the gate of Mr. Dabo. Then you have to go past them and then go to the far end where you have Mr. Dabo's office. So I greeted them. Assalamu alaikum. No one greeted back. No one responded. So I said, okay, then that's fine. So I just passed them. That was when I took out my phone and then called Al-Mami and said, well, we're here. And he said, oh, okay, are you there? I said, yes. He said, okay, I am supposed to be at that interview. I'm supposed to be there, but I'm picking up my son from school. I will join you shortly. So that was one person who is a very good brother of mine. He's UDP, Pasonko. That was when he saw me and then came to me and then came to where I was. We went straight to where you have Mr. Dabo's office. We stood down there before going up. That was when I decided to call Mr. Tal. So Mr. Tal, said he was going to join me. So I mean, it makes sense for me to wait for him since he's the guy, the go between. So I have to wait for him as the media advisor to his party leader, right? So I waited downstairs, and you have Mr. Sonko, who I mean is a friend of mine. We are brothers. I remember sometime back he was my personal trainer. When I go to the beach, he's the one who would help me do some exercise. So he came and he said, "Well, I have issues with you." You know, he said a lot of things, but as my brother, somebody that I love so much, I didn't take any offense. He said a lot of things that are not true. You are being used. The other day I was passing, I saw you entering Abubakar Jawara's office in the morning. I don't go to any office that early, you know. I in fact I don't go to office work that early. He said he saw me Silinga Wato entering. I said no, that wasn't me. You know. He said a lot of things, but this is my brother, and really I didn't take any offense. I said, okay, you know what? I also tried to explain some things to him. How UDP people or UDP supporters have been lying against me since the Babaja incident, you know. Prior to that, I never had any issue with all these UDP supporters online. I mean, at some point, some of them were calling me the best journalist in the country, right? I don't see myself as the best journalist. I only see myself as someone who is still learning in this job, you know? I mean, this social media, let's get that straight. This social media that everybody is talking about now, by the grace of social media that a lot of people came to know me. I was never in the TV industry. I was a newspaper journalist all my life. Only because Yahya Jammeh left in 2016, all this social media journalism started and everybody started appearing. I mean, I know there are so many people who also knew me back then. Those that were buying the newspaper and reading them. If you were buying the newspaper at that time, during Jammeh's time, and then reading them, you would know that, I mean there was a journalist called Lamin Njie. I have always been there. At least 2 respectable newspapers in this country, I edited it, right? But all of that is not important. What is important is that you have a certain group of UDP supporters who look at me in a particular light, and really, I cannot do anything about that. They are entitled to their opinions, how they view me, how they see me. That's their problem. It's not my problem, you know. The important thing for me is for me to do my job and do it, I mean, how it should be done. That is how I always see this job, okay? So I was waiting. Let me get back to the whole issue. So I was waiting. Almami, he said he was coming, right? Pa was there talking. But Mr. Dabo was upstairs. He was in his office. His car was parked outside, right? So, but there was so much hostility from among those random UDP supporters who were sitting there at Mr. Dabo's gate. So the moment my staff or my people told them that I am the one coming to interview Dabo, so myself, where I was waiting for Almami to come, I could hear some of them saying, Amanya Nasonna wala. Amanya Nasonna Lamin Njie interview. You know? Some were saying that, and they were complaining. You could see that there was so much resentment, so much anger and disappointment. They were so disappointed in their leader that their leader accepted to meet me, accepted to have me interview him. So they could not fathom that. They could not take that. So what they started doing was they were just walking past me. I was there, but you have Pasonko, a great man, a very nice man. He went and looked for a chair for me to sit and wait while Mr. Almametal arrives. So I sat waiting, and he was standing, talking. We were just having our normal chat. We are talking, and then he said a lot of things, how UDP is committed to removing His Excellency President Adama Barrow from office and all of that, right? So, but that's their problem. That's not my problem. My business at Mr. Dabo's house today was to go there and interview Mr. Dabo on issues that I think are relevant, that I think he should speak on, right? This is why I was at Mr. Dabo's. I was just minding my business. But you have all these random supporters. They were moving past me. You have some of them going up and coming down. I mean, I did not even want to even look at them. I was just busy, minding my business. So all of a sudden, they were just passing, complaining, saying stuff. All of a sudden, I was speaking with Pa. It was Pa Sonko that I was speaking with. And then Almami called me twice. My phone was on silent mode, so I did not see the calls. You know, it was in my hand, so it was when I opened my phone, I saw his missed calls. But the missed calls were superseded. That was a text message. He left me a text message. In the text message, he said, brother, I'm sorry, PL is at a funeral, apparently. This is Mr. Dabo's text message, Mr. Almamital's text message. So when he texted that, there was powers there. And these are the people who know if Mr. Dabo is in or Mr. Dabo is out. So Mr. Dabo was in. That I was able to confirm. And then that was, before Pa left, I told Pa, well, I think just to confirm, just to be sure, I said, Pa, but PL is upstairs. He said yes, he's upstairs. Maybe he's busy talking to someone, or I don't know what is keeping him. So, but because this was well past 3 p.m. The interview, the interview time, right? So when that happened, when he confirmed, so I said, okay, no problem. That was when he left. But I had my team, they were sitting, while I was speaking to Mr. Sonko, they were sitting and observing some of the things that were activities or the actions that were going on. You have upstairs, you have Mr. Dabo's security there and his secretary, I guess. So they were signaling to the guy that I was talking to, because I was sitting, the way I was sitting, I had my back, they were speaking from where I was behind me. So this is upstairs. So this is, they've been making gestures, signs just for the guy to, stop talking to me perhaps. So that was when Pa went upstairs. So Pa went upstairs and then Pa came down, Pa left without even talking to me. He only said, oh, we'll talk later. And Pa left that whole area. We were there and then I spoke, that was when I called, but before calling, I texted back Mr. Tal to say that, but he is inside. That was what I told Mr. Tal. So I didn't call Mr. Tal. I said, hey, look, but this is the situation. I mean, PL is inside. You are telling me PL is not here, but PL is upstairs in his office. And that was when Almami got guilty, and Almami's tone changed, and he started explaining how, his efforts. I appreciated his efforts because Almami is liberal. He's very progressive minded. Almami is not one of those people who think that if you differ with someone in terms of opinion or in terms of view, you should just simply, stay away from them. You should just simply snub them. He is not that kind of person. And this is why I recognize and appreciate all his efforts, because he put in a lot of effort in making sure that I have this interview, to the extent of engaging Honorable Dabo accepting, and him confirming with me that the interview has been accepted and a date and a time appointed, 3 p.m. today, Thursday. He did not. I spoke with him. We spoke on the phone. I said, this is what is going on. And he said, he admitted. He said, look, this is unfortunate. And he said a lot of things, which I appreciate. He said a lot of things in terms of how he is going to try and make sure that this interview happens. But I said, look, and he said, but some of the things that I did not agree with him on are the issue of, it's always difficult to interview UDP leader Hussein Ida. It has never been difficult. I have been interviewing him before this whole issue started. And I never faced any, protocol, any particular complication. That has never happened. Every time I make sure whenever I get in touch with him, he gives me an interview. That has always been the case, But what is different? So now he started saying a lot of things, how you have people in the party who, think that if you differ or you have a different opinion to someone else, you should simply just, ignore them and snub them. He said, which he thinks is unacceptable. It shouldn't work like that. And that he assured me that he was going to fix the interview again. I said, but this is a confirmed scheduled interview. Why would you cancel that? Why would that be cancelled? And what shocked me is this issue of Mr. Dabo being at a funeral. Well, Mr. Dabo is upstairs. So I thought, and you have all these people coming in and going out, and all of a sudden, everything changes, and they are saying Mr. Dabo is at a funeral. When I confirmed that Mr. Dabo is upstairs in his office. So I found that quite shocking and unbelievable. A politician of Mr. Dabo's standing, a Democrat of Mr. Dabo's standing would let such random people pressure him, bully him if you like, into rejecting or cancelling an interview that he agreed to. That, I mean, I have tried previously. Before that, I had tried to interview Mr. Dabo, but I knew it was always going to be a problem. All these UDP supporters are going to cause problems for me. You know, this was, I mean, during the campaign period, for example, I knew there was this a problem there, this Babaja issue. So they said they were on a boycott. I said, I don't mind. I will still try. I will still try and reach out to Mr. Dabo and see if he will give me an interview. I contacted Almamital. Almamital said he was going to arrange it after the campaign. I remember UDP's last meeting in Sukuta. After that, I had requested this interview long ago, maybe a month or so ago. All of a sudden, I saw Mr. Dabo, I mean, being interviewed elsewhere. But those things are not very important. What is important is today. Because I found today to be very unfortunate. It's unbelievable. I could not believe what happened. That Mr. Dabo will accept an interview, only if all of a sudden you have some random supporters who even had no business being at his office to be saying that he should not accept to be interviewed by a journalist. And Mr. Dabo says, I am cancelling this interview. And you have his people come to me, his top aides come to me and say he's at a funeral when Mr. Dabo is inside. So I find that incomprehensible. But at the end of the day, I mean, I am disappointed in the action of a party leader, how he treated me, because I could have been doing something else. The whole of today has gone to waste. You know, since yesterday I was preparing for this interview. I was excited. I told a lot of people about it, and some people were really looking forward to this interview, that I am going to interview Mr. Dabo. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that this happened. But what we have to understand is that I am sweating. You will have to give me a minute. I am sweating. You'll have to give me a minute. Sorry about that. So, I mean, for me, I mean, I think, I mean, as leader of a party, I mean, one has to be able to be in charge of affairs, be in charge of things. You cannot have all these monkeys, Tom, Dick, and Harry supporters micromanaging you. I think that should not happen in a political setting, in a political organization. What you have to do is to be in charge of affairs, in charge of things. I'm not saying you should disrespect your supporters. This is not about, but also this is about educating them. If you call yourself a Democrat, even if Lamin Njie is an NPP journalist, what is stopping Mr. Dabo from entertaining, at least listening or taking questions from an NPP journalist? If indeed he is a Democrat, because a Democrat is a Democrat, you should be tolerant, you should be able to accommodate everyone, regardless of whatever opinion they hold about you. And I have never held any opinion about Mr. Dabo. Mr. Dabo is my father. I have so much regard for him. In fact, a lot of people may not know the history, but my history and UDP has been there. Those who care can go and confirm. It has always been there. Since when former President Njie was here, I was an editor at the Standard newspaper. Those days were very difficult. You know, UDP had very few media organizations houses in this country that will even put out their simple statement. Every statement that UDP had at the time, they were sending it to me, and I was putting them out, and I was publishing them. I remember I was in that job. I had to leave that job. I had to quit that job. And I met Dabo and I met. When I quit, the whole nation knew about that. And when that happened, Mr. Dabo met me at a press conference, or he came and found us reporters. We were there at a press conference organized by Solo Sanding and Co. If you remember, back in 2016, there was a press conference, inter-party press conference that was held at Tango. Mr. Dabo came there. He met me there. After my resignation, a few months after my resignation, he even asked me what I was going to do next. I told him, well, my plan is to maybe set up my own media organization, media house, someday. That was what I told him. But Back then, Mr. Dabo appreciated my work. He appreciated the work that I was doing. Very young editor at the time, very, very young, you know. So, but at the end of the day, what is important is respect, right? Respect. Mr. Dabo is my father, and I have the highest, the hugest respect for him. And that will never change, you know. But, okay, for example, that maybe some time back, not very long, I was the darling journalist of a lot of UDP supporters who are shouting and making all this noise online. You know, I was their darling. But all of a sudden, now I am the bad, terrible journalist in Gambia. Okay, that's fine. That's an opinion that you have. I cannot change that, right? But what is important is the respect. That is what is important. I have never said anything bad about Mr. Dabo. Never. I have never done that, and I will never do it. But I, as a citizen, I have a right to give my opinion on issues. I have a right to give. So if I give my opinion and say NPP is going to win the election, that is my opinion, because I work as a journalist. I work with people. Every day I interact with people, and I know what they are thinking and how things are looking like. So the presidential election, I gave my prediction that the NPP or President Adam Barrow is winning, and all of a sudden you have all these UDP warriors online jumping, saying, oh yeah, Sadiq Kodola, they've bought him. He's a dogo journalist. They said all sorts of things, right? But that is okay. Have you seen me coming on and then responding to some of these things? I don't have that time. On internet or on all these people, all these online shouting. No, you can say whatever you like about me. And the lies has been, there are so many lies that have been told about me, which is okay. And these lies have managed to stick up. Mo jamala da nyinu lale. You know, ika brown envelope or dealer, ika yine dealer, they give you brown envelopes. All of these things, people believe them. A lot of people believe it. And you have there that idiot in Germany, because Adoma are not tight friendly. We are very close. About Mark Jane, Hatab in Germany, make a video to say, hey, Lamin Njie, it's now today Diamula. Lamin Njie sold his soul. You know, Lamin Njie Sidin Njie, I record le, you will be going to your platform and attacking UDP, and we will be giving you money. We will buy you a car. We will introduce you to Abubakar Jawara. We will buy you a car. Definitely, I am renting. I'm renting. I'm better. A bungalow. I don't know, the 9-bedroom or whatever bungalow. Yes. All these things, they have been said about me. All these things. And a lot of people, the guy who put out that lie, that big fat lie, Hatab Jane, it stuck. People believe in it. Abe TikTok, abe everywhere. Ya send la beleto. Ko ha, this is Lamin Njie. And then a lot of people believe in that. More bele lata wala. You know, more can all family members, people calling me, Kafanyo go here, ito kai sayo kai baro ye sanne, ye kodole dila, ye bungole loe, ye motole se, all of these things, niya fonye. I'm because I'm very cool. I'm very down to earth. So about me. And that video was recorded. This idiot recorded that video back in last year, in the lead up to the presidential election. That was when it was recorded and shared everywhere. And a lot of people believe in this, right? So they put out that video and they were circulating video. Right? And all of a sudden, someone sent me the video. You know, that was just less than 3 or 4 weeks ago. So when they sent me this video, I looked at this video, I laughed. That was when I took the video. I laughed, I was shocked that Hatab could sit in Germany, a brother, because we are tight friends. We sat on the same chair in school. I found that very unfortunate. So I've sent the video to him. But all I can do is to laugh and then oh, sorry, my brother. Oh, sorry, my brother. Na informantol on the ground. Will them mislead. In fact, you will be shocked. That was what. Oh, and say call no. If you want, I can go and do another video to apologize. And guy go, well, I don't even want to talk about this. I'm done. That was it. From that day to now, I sent me several messages to Seiko. I mean, he wanted me to talk to me. Madam, I just ignored everything. And then what I did was, because relationship na doma tema is so strong. Na video ni send way after nga itan na ko. I have sent this video to Sidia for future reference. Guy nga send Sidia ko niko wal ndefo atab ndering hatab mandiamu. I think there is a family feud going on. Now mandiamu for 3 years now. Guy, that is not my business. Guy, the family quo. More family problem on the Bogadumbo. Guy, woman can't business what. I'm just bringing this to your attention for future reference. Guy, this is why I decided to share this video with you. So that was what happened. And then, but that video caused me a lot of problems. You know, people see me. I mean, they think my car, Molelio Sante. It is President Adam Barrow who bought me my car. I'm living in a bungalow, you're building. Go to my house. I'm building my house, not bungo for my complete no. You know, I live in an apartment, the complex that ngame rent. So, but all of that are not important. What is important is, I have to do my job, and I have to do it fearlessly. You know, I'm not going to look at I'm not here to impress anybody, and I'm not competing with anybody. I'm not competing with any journalist from in this country. I just do me. You know, if you think that there are people who are your best journalists, good luck with that. I don't have a problem, because journalist mantra compete come. It's not my business. How they do their job is not my business. What is my business is to make sure that that is how I do it. If you see that I'm trying to interpose some local language, because model beje wal fangal manta English school fang wal ka angale jele drone, they start attacking you. No si wo fanante banna. So is half of kandol farana me aloko, everybody will understand. Mo base ha understand. Yes? But for Dabo to treat me the way he treated me, I think that was wrong. I think that is unfortunate. Mr. Dabo munda famalti. Mr. Dabo na tata fire come over. Now I'm interview grant nung. That's fine. If I reach out, you go no, sorry, we are not giving you the interview. Man by force. I'm not going to say by force give me an interview. No, it doesn't work like that. If I request you decline, then that's it. Life goes on, right? Because they've done that before. None of them complain. Nobody saw me complaining, because I know that. He's entitled. That's his right to say yes or no to an interview request. So, but for you to accept an interview and for me to live the whole day not doing anything, put in my resources, put in my time and everything, you know, only for me to get to your office and you say it's an interview then, and you have your people lying it sangot imanta sangoto Mr. Dabo ndenga Mr. Dabo tarala office wolto abeje ngani karo ke pra ay koyma ko Mr. Dabo be konoto ko Mr. Dabo konoto, and all of a sudden you have all these rank and file supporters, random rank and file supporters. Kala ningo fo ka kam file dol ka muta rank and file mun nendrol rank and file man ken nendrol wala mol men yalon ko be ka fo kono. That's what rank and file means in English. So nte nga confirm le ko Dabo be santole e ko Mr. Dabo be santo ko okay, alhamdulillah. But I called Almamital because before I take a footage, because since yesterday, you interview Benten Niolaka. You interview from another Yaming. I nyantala senior. Startam Swalokon, Naswokon, Nasubakon on Sunday, Nimfa Kachal. The farmer more all these nonsense people, many alonko, Ibe Nendrole, Ibe Kolkela. It's a lovely UDP and the pharmacy. Nabe Searing, Bekata Alanka and Co. But I love honorable Dabo interviewer. Akonya Nioke, I'll bet you back. You know? Ngai ko batu nga call mba nyini kala fabe interview di lana na Mr. Dabo call Mr. Dabo a telephone nota. That was after 8 p.m. maybe around 9 mafang suto a telephone nota ngai honorable akonye yes kortande ngai gon telem Lamin Njie juma ngai Lamin Njie former fatu na to lafta interview akonye okay ni alma jale kacha, you know, very nice ngai okay abaraka, you know, nga telephone lan nga alma tal call ko nyeko Mr. Njie yes for the first time, because alma tal for you what him be since the problem ninga text aten dankula ninga call up no call chika, yes, but I don't know, all of a sudden my lucky day I telephone no chika ngai brother how are you akonye nga nyo konto ngai go Mr. Dabo boda diam kan sign moments ago, but I can contact, I want to interview him. Almam ko go okay, I will arrange it tomorrow, let me talk to him and then we arrange it nga date muta, then we will let you know. Yeah, okay, I'll follow up. So nga call on Monday. That was the mass lungolte. Tena lungo nga call. Bring a call. Almame konyeko. Almame konyeko. We are trying, but try kaneka lungo muta. Ane wato. Then mbe inform la. I'll let you know. Okay. Ma call. Nga call on Tuesday koteke. Talata lungo. Nga go so na interview onye kokera nyadile. Akonyeko interview nga mutale. Nga lungo mutale aram salungo talansaba. But I offer okay, no problem. That office. I was so excited. That office kuno. Kona moleko make sure you pray. Someone can have double interview. So they were also very excited that I was able to get an interview with Mr. Dabo. That goes to show how important Mr. Dabo and Lord Lanala Kumaya in Bangkok. I waited. So they were excited. They were ready. You know, ye prepare. Be someone that bring the water. I didn't do anything. You know, I cancelled all my engagements. I didn't do anything to make sure in the interviewing. I scribbled down a few questions. Follow up to make sure driver I got pick. I got not. Ikonye yes until part already. They part by 2:40 if raraje. Ntaraje kapri 1 o'clock. 2 hours ndengole si. Puruka interview nyimbato. Because ndedinga fengolande nyokan. Wodrone ka kentla preoccupation. Wodrone ka kenna kundi moti. Ntaka wodrone miraka. Yaje. Ntara 1 o'clock ndemte furaje. Ntara LP la Parisienne. Bendara LP la Parisienne. Ndundaje nga jiosan ngamming. After salwaro sida 2 sida nsalta. Mboras mpareda salola bang drong baba la commando dundana. Bawo ñu wati go fananka ay kuya bale mutam fe, which is fine because bomo la right lem yo kuya mutam mo fe. Yaji. Bante I am mature ndete keo ndete kuya mutalon no nyonke o fe. Right? Mengeta mpareda salola drong adunda kono. Bari not knowing at that alafta sila da ma atande ngana bakola ndi fa be siri woldo before mi da salor but hakay ku yalla mutam fe because I said things about him me ala wala man dia I am block ay ku ya mutam fe. That is fine, okay brother, you can go ahead with that. Woman de batan defend yaji but nde bodan salor na nga trawodo drom nga kontom nga fis bompo dia nga kontom ka SG biru nga SG amandang nga je foyta diamu lagne njeleta ako nyen so tambi you know ultole move ta mo nga silo bulay atambi da si on the other side asida oto malay mo ne order yo diala abe siri nja diam da telephone oto and then he left afinita I ended tuje ana adundala mo ko ata that was but that is not important I okay babala commando he left sande brin 240 sida nga na boyel koli ko nyi gom fele dem frada ndefinta dam banda bo bi lo restaurant o banda nga gal jebe be loka de jida mo roko so bi jita it's hot Gambia start ka candle you know summer is kicking in fast so and the tata I went ntara nga ntara mbulate no ma bring je jida but it told me naka lota instead of they go to the far end usen dabola la office of daming it told tarale to the gate that was motor parked award and then you have these supporters ni mol many ala UDP dabo kanonte wala mi be sirim bundato je. So these people jida camera of course tripod or ni waja drebal na journalist holdem and then you have the tag the Star TV tag yaje so bring oketa then you have you have them asking them albora mindole oh Star TV so one of the team leader ali untabina kana ali mo yakafo ko Lamin Njie kana Mr. Dabo interview so all of a sudden they were shocked dol ba flo ko Lamin Njie kilimo Lamin Njie member Fatu network Lamin Njie so they all started going bazak kumo bebe fola ndadum biri nada I kept my cool ndanga nadal drong muslimo nyanta menkela mbetambigela ngo assalamu alaikum mo mandanko imandanku so but that is not important ni mo ko ta amejo just like ngam sabali konto nyama mandanku ni dol fana nge kondo mandanku that's okay that's their right what we la rightly so ndatambi dan tara di order far end Mr. Double office be down lota duma I took out my phone na alma be tal ko because alma tal len de CJ alma tal len wala be diam kam wala mu conduit woti the conduit for this interview is the media assistant the media advisor to Mr. Double right so nga call akonye ko oh misenya are you there nga yes I'm here akonye ko okay I'm ngatan mbendi ngole taka school oto I'm coming mfana mfongo nyanda tarajele interview oto nga okay then that's fine nte seed man si fon because seed la man soro but moyen sude me yalo na mo kende ba UDP mu nyaawnya na mo kende ba pa sonko very mature guy another abe jele kam fa ko nyete diamo benni tema ite imantiling imu NPP that he said a lot of things but I did not take any offense because wado men ngata times or ngata big to baga can training atelegan training so ntabe jele mam akoni ko baraman sirang fa soro you know jan sirang ko lam problem he looked abort atara the other side I sirong natinye you know ni me alon ko asiata tete bagle but he has so much respect for me I sirong nati akoni ko si nsida so but ado rankundo just kanyo sanawya because mbemu clean it another day abe diamula ha yalo te wolumbe tambe kan ngeje be dunga abukar jawal of ceiling kan ende ceiling ka nde yente je ceiling kan nga fit ko man siade nte because most of the time nte bukata juna do kwala yaje ngai ko nte because nte bukala for 3 am da dara nyanya 3 am so mandale most of the time nte kala so nte buka wuli wo juna ngai nte bu imante je de akwa enteje said a lot of things yes and ye ketene okay you are entitled to that opinion then that's fine we be buluje but at the end of the day he said a lot of things mbe siri mbe almami tal baduka but ni molu men yala ko be problemo cause kam wolle be siri ila side be complain kan ko mune atina dabo sonda ndaka interview amanya na interview dila ka complain saying all sorts of things yajere ibina be tambila ne bita be sella santo double officer be jila be sella santo be jila security men fanam beje so hostile abe double bunda junkula ba tawna ba soronna you know then you have the secretary be kumo mambling be kumol fola ndemale be ndenga nyaale kasi menna site be siring be almami tal baduka pason ko be lore yade birim pason ko so pason ko fana nata wona ko nyako ila taro janya itar ibe janyame sambi abe online mobe balo na ko you are here you know with that ndaka ambira abe mem foka wala UDP call ngo okay then that's fine woma important what is important la interview ngana interview sotal you know what enta sija yadi so ndebe siri ibe they were making gestures because ndebe siri ngam ko la dila itol be sando so pa membe lor nda kundo katu san everyone minute nin pa be dia sando jibe but ndela mol men nin na timo mol men nara they saw all the actions membe tamaka wolle nara fonye ko they were making ibe nyakati lae ibe do fo na do be gar wala kumol fokam sungudi nim mesama do na do be gar wala kumol bonte ma kilo fo be to na molu birim bota jele wolbe some of these things iba foka nyam to kon ha nin jato be malam fo jio 5 fetem 5 ka nyadi I don't know wo kuma sifale ka bollel foka yaji so ibe selela sando ibe jila duma ibe selela sando ibe jila dum all of a sudden alma italian call si nyafla barinde lam walo was on silent mode maji aklamata nganam walo yele ngala fen koje I text message yo kinya ka fonye ko oh sorry Mr. Njie Mr. Dabo be sangolto rara sangolto ngadiam eje bra wo text Njie bari atra pabelo ren kunto before pakata because Dabo la moto be pakiring Mr. Dabo be santo everybody confirmed that hani kondo birana de ko ha take bala kondo nati de dinno men jida sunguri no men jide kakata PL la kondo nati PL was upstairs it all be ila side be kodo do maga ibe la kondo do maga sorry yaje so then you have PL be santo yaje so pa membe kunto bawo woni PL la ko be nyokono PL lo ngai ko PL ngai ko ko keba fanga because bring almame ko nyoko atara sangol ngai ko pa bi be santo la ko nya be santo maybe ani mole be diam kan warang mala maybe a digital but sambi almame but he told me that ndamol bebe sitting will be a confirm so brate o fonye on the whole ibe nyakati la ibe ko action will cry so that was when the guy went up fenke tara sando pason ko tara sando then pason ko jita na ba bi pason ko jita nyam ala dimino be falinta atambitan na drone abitaka bori kan nede akanja konye ko mediam la later at amurara the other side that was it you know that was when I also called fenke bring al text message ngai go bo dawo be sando ngam almami tal call ngai but Mr. Dabo be is upstairs he ga fo jara samol almami tal la tone be falinta diamo be falinta hayalo Mr. Njie wato dul ka Dabo interview a koleatale ni hani Omar Wale fa on ya nyinin ka wato dul Mr. Dabo interview okay no but this is a confirmed interview come interview request and in niba approval ka grant what is different from a confirmed interview me yalon ko ya confirmed already that is different okay go so it all so he started saying a lot of things yalo nyin call fon kara nyame is unfortunate because ni moment tra cooking o ma min ko especially journalist ka dogo ke nyame ni man la falo ma min ko man na interview kala very nice kumola wol lel fon prawl fon ngai okay ngai but I'm so disappointed I'm disappointed because ni random people all wole mun kan ne so do UDP manke UDP na executive ti manke UDP ti fo it all mu support a Kenzold ikata hang around dabola bundar do wole pabirngo confusing the kapabirngo preso landa kan kasilandi pro pabirngo kana interview dinda that was what happened so brio okay pabirngo kana interview dinda okay Because Almamatale is fine. Almamatale konyo ha, don't worry. Mbe interview fix lale. Guy, no. Interview fix lale foka pare. Side ko interview fix la boro. Guy, this is it. Bari ala fam. Mo kurungolo be siring be time kam because moto pakta binda na moto samba je fam. Nda bulata na mola staff la mo binga taxi le jo na staff la moto ndala moto problem so. Na staff la moto e wolel nata. So biri wol nata. Brimbe sega ntata pour yende drop and then it will move back to office. You see? Brimbe tambi kay mo kurungol de yen snap yen natal because nde brinda la moto is parked right in front of them. It will be sitting dame moto park reward. So I had to come ngata bula moto la right in the passenger seat. Ndebe moto bunda yele kay yen snap. Otherwise for I was even not going to talk about this. But yen snap le yen snap breaking news yake breaking news ti. Yalonte ndefola diamo mansia. So I'm sure a lot of people will find this very interesting that I'm coming on and then talking like this. Na diamo mansia online, you know. But yes, snap, you're key, and you have some of their supporters. You know that breaking news. Lamin Njie, the dogo journalist, has been rejected, denied interview. Yeah, I am not angry. Mo kana miro gonte kamfara. I'm just disappointed and shocked. Man kamfa. Ado Mr. Dabo bente dameng fire karo mento. He will continue to be there. Nanate Mr. Dabo disrespect la abe nye damento for sama. Mr. Dabo betara. Woman mean ko nte ninga opinion o soronta fola. Ndela opinion o nimba fola nka fo hormone mbunya la kon. Opinion o do mu mola mirodi. Fo tonyalem fo fanyalem o mu wala mirodi. So bari Gambia le mu banko do me yalon kon dela opinion o fo ite mu dogolti. Ito adu nyin men beke attack every day bela in opinion of foka, you know. Adu men beke avon to mu join the list wolelti. Ina man journalist yake, ina man journalist ya karam bari wolel ye fanke PhD holder in journalism ka journalist wol attack la do ko, which is okay. Allah right le mu pour ka journalist wol attack ka kumol fo journalist wol bari ite man journalist ya karam bi ima karam sama ima londo soto ina ma do ko ina ma do ko ke wolel kasi every day ibe journalist wol attack ibe a journalist wol accuse la ibe kumol fo la journalist wol ma because journalist wol opinion wol di jumala ka to le journalist wol taala opinion wol di no la alta society ko no media la wolel advance tan to la society dal ya jibe every day journalist wol wolel kala mirol fo ko la wolel ka ke analyse wol ti wolel ka ko analyze kala mirol fo la opinion wol di bari taaje la wol la mo le ka lo ka wuli ka fo ko join the list dogo journalist but only in the Gambia journalist o kay wanyanda menkala to wala safero de do waran wanyanda ko ku bero da male safete ma no man ku bero sambe safete ma yo sanne no man ku bero safete ma o man do ko wono ndala do ko no anina do ko no balia alhamdulillah ndega ala tentu journalism kono a lot of people kanteje ika muta maybe nte kasuto dum waran ka fen nyimma nte wodata bilala nte metale ka suto dum well before President Adam Barrow la man sakunda kana ndebe na suddungala nte back in the day wa don to kambe sura ba tambi hani wul cleaner ndeka na kodo be tan ka chef nga suto san those days ndeka suto sande ndeka na suto sande nga fenken dol dum nga haftan ken dol dum kam I look good because nte journalism first impression o kuma atante bakale ndete fe alam fanna, you know. So ndeka ajele ko nimbe findila I have to look neat, I have to look clean, I have to look smart. Nte o metal ndela pareo maybe atol mantelo bandela pareo ndeka kampare so barat bile moli enteje ngampare ka amuda ko okay ndela sutol warante ka fengol men fondu hari after no fondu is a problem Abubakar Jawara la se Abubakar Jawara mo fon fa lu ngil ngaite ibe fit sur la bakel eta si ko le hafta no sante I'm not sure inana bokela ndela hafta no ndeka na hafta no dunne ka bring Abubakar Jawara nden wo ma nyolong kabri president Barrow la man sakunda manna kabri ya jamme bejam ndeka na haftana kendol dum kana feko bar ni fengo fenje droy ko ha yo mole yase mole yekete mole nde I work and I get money nga do ko soro nga ko do soro aduna ko don ka make sure that I invest it in on myself nga adu ndim fankunda, you know. So but at the end of the day what is important is for mobe tenkum yaje kukiling kamfa na faade kamfa ndela for President Adam Barrow be winner ntek I based that on what I saw ndenga na opinion o safene ngo President Adam Barrow be winner because nga jele ko President Adam Barrow be winner nga wala je aseke bale you know how many people mo jele ko UDP le be winner, but that is not a problem. But ninde ko NPP le be winner, that is a problem. Mo be bo kala kasolti ka mo be foma ndelo ka be win adu ko win tale adu tenga lo ne ko ka ko prediction o adama di wete kela adama di ya miro la fo ye ko rid nyame ka fo nyam but that doesn't mean that you for wole be kala I predicted that and then that same prediction bring a prediction ka keta ngaje president adam baro menke opposition on la no there is no way you can have UDP or any other opposition party new party or something it was ruthless, it was brutal. Ye menke UDP la, you know, in that election. Yes, iko ya sunyale, wamu UDP ko la opinion olti ko ya sunyale. But what is important is that President Adam Barrow election will win a senator for senator than tadame. Yes, I took those numbers and then I used that. Wala entafana nene, ngo okay, parliamentary election is a done deal. UDP, NPP babe winal. Yes, maybe in retrospect, maybe that is too unreasonable and unreasonable, you know, and extreme. Yes, but we've seen UDP, I mean, at least come out of their coma and then they were able to do very well. So that goes to show that I'm only human. There's no opinion or dino, but Alabina Menkela, Membekela, I'm not in control of that. There's no opinion of Folale. Askeno Nasoto, Askeno boy. I'm not afraid to give my opinion because it turned out to be true, to be false. You know? But what is important is that so I know a lot of people are going to find this very funny because in the book Facebook live, okay, that's not me, you know what I mean? But what is important is that is what happened, right? So new beketa, then ndekana opinion of Bugadia UDP ko ende sanne. Now you have all of them running away from me. People that were once my fans, many are not fan kendol and be all big on them journalists jawolti. For example, let me give you one very good example. Brindara, while all these things were happening, Kenindobe Kono. He too was complaining. I complained come back and Dabo Besonda interview. But he said one thing. Another, but bring Pabet Yamlande, he stood behind me. I believe what I bought so he came out from where he was hiding. Number one journalist what in Bangkok. You were my number one journalist those days in Omar Wali. Akonya bari bri control to Siran Sotala. That means Brintoko UDP since that day they turned out to be the worst journalist in the Gambia. So okay, the good journalist to you is me along another kuja for lema. But ni me good kuja for him. Is that how really molke miraja wala nyamo bang? Is that how really people think in this country? Ni mo e ku beto for eta madro wala journalist. But the moment I go for him, me favor journalist kurungol. This is what this guy told me, and then I bravo for nyata. But at the end of the day, what is important is that I have nothing against UDP. You know, yes, if I was a little emotional, I would say yes. I have confessed that to some people that I thought that I was a little emotional at times. Because you cannot blame me for that. Because if you have people every day, their business is to sit on the internet to lie about you, to lie against you. I think sometimes if I don't care Fangela, you know, sometimes if I don't you know what I mean? So you have all these people saying all these things about me, and then sometimes you are driven by emotion, you know. So no. Fat camera. It's too hot in Gambia. You know, I decided to turn off the fan because there will be a lot of noise. Yeah. But that is what is important. Yeah. So menkumayata, wala mu, let us just at least respego wakumayata. Respego kumayata le. Ni tarante la suko no hani samani sin usen dabola la natalo be hangring mfama la bungo kuntoteng. I usen dabola flyer. Abes damento still it's there. You know, ni tarante fama dolu. Some of my uncles are security officers, but they can UDP then go do I can mix UDP meeting all. You know what I mean? Ikata UDP la meeting all. You know, all my entire family. Yes, maybe Saje Ndada maybe can tell the Mamuta Conte Mantrefe and NPP because my work Ndela Dokunya Olemandie. But at the end of the day, they are all UDP. They are all UDP. So men kumar. But what Martin and the whole relationship boy. Nte farmer. Namanje he gets really worried, huh? Namange akatuna ko nyininkale because we are so close. He's UDP. Sometimes he doesn't appreciate the way that I work. Yes, but na relationship obejere. Namanje ko ya anioka kuyala akatuli lijantelale. So kono he bari biwo manna keoje. He bari biwo manna keoje. That is our relationship. Na relationship bo wole nyama. Adiata fafu da level out. Akatuna na kuodrong. Nte drone na kacha ano. Nse kacha nga nyosaba nga political kacha nga kuobeke. Very beautiful. Adung itolu lata UDP la le fatambita. Keba kotolam de. Bari bajala UDP. A lot of people refuse to go and vote. Nyen katre fayol men, katre fay dingol men bekra. But ade kabring a day to the election abe mobe aba emphasize la. Why everybody should vote? Why everybody should vote? Fano kara dra ulta la katre sika kaka katre fayol. Nde tata le nkoko datle konye data katre fayol. Yes, I was supposed to go and vote in Ibo town konoto. Na benda siloka ala karrefa ya binaka nkaje ite da karrefa la akoje but Molmans he was so disappointed that people refused to come out and vote. But atemu UDP and then Usainu Dabo had said 24 hours before the poll ko mobe make sure near the latter UDP kosla go out and vote. Atala katechi katara karrefa. That is how committed that man is to UDP. But omanala relationship amana relationship tinya. If you have people who perceive me, NPP ready, then that's fine. I don't googling. Let me make one thing very, very clear here. Because in day, I don't always come online to do interviews. I would not have done this. I would not have issued a statement, right? But let me make one thing very clear. Yaje, President Adam Barrow, what some of these UDP people want, I will never do it, is pro UDP ntekata kakuja wal safe President Adam Barrow maninka President Adam Barrow attack so that he told you they can take my work kata ko present to the people ka fuko imagine journalists so men safe about imagine journalists so men safe about I mean I'm on live, please nalben call ka you're going to interrupt my live video, please, you know. So ibajela I think I'll soon end this. So, because people are calling me everywhere, you know. So, but Ibajala, you know, Ibajala, nteto okela. Kafoko nte alafta kande okeo journalist hold be alonko abgal tala like a government attack, ka President Adam Barrow attack for you to benefit from that politically. Never nteta akela. Na diata meye. Taraje dogo lemu. Taraje join this. Konde buga alla nyim fenkol fon. I don't even have time for them. Some of these things men al case afe. Anana buga nyokuya because he got kuo menje wole ke nyokuya. Bari buga kuo menje muno be nyokuya la. Ye mengo ale mengo mem befo abeta. Bari comme na lente expect ndele bita ka kalye di attack doctor. Katra President Adam Barrow attack la. Anala mansa kuna attack la ko kujo present pour wo kujo wol nying. Atol sikal rely on that. To reference that nalbala opposition yala. Nde manke opposition di. Nde ame journalist. So not only your responsibility responsibility to be writing bad stuff about government, that is your responsibility as opposition. That's not my responsibility. What my responsibility is to present the facts. That presentation of the facts. And there are a lot of issues in this country, right? And you cannot say, because there are over 3,000 journalists in the Gambia, why is everybody talking about Lamin Njie? Go to other journalists. If you have an issue that you think a reporter should report on, go to other journalists and tell them to work on it. Why always me? You have other journalists. Because I'm busy. I have other things that I'm working on. So if you have an issue that you think journalists should report on, refer it to other journalists. Because journalists share them. And like I said, I'm not competing with any journalist. Journalists mundo kuke wo mutla do kwalti. Ndebe menkela mbole kala. Adon tebuka mo hasidi ya. Nde journalist jibela nga hasidi ya. Nga konante ya because I awodo lebi or because I thank God. Because let me tell you one thing also. Even the awards, it's haje UDP culture chika. Oh, another book award win. Who told you take a story present? Because award onying. Ika presently ika demo based on if a story dogu, your story ni send, your story ni jibe awodo deal. I've never done that. Because you know why? Maybe but more for jam beef. You know why Because I feel awodo is for all journalists, right? in this country. But sometimes in Kamfan Jibele ko, I have gone to a certain level, alhamdulillah. Ndega news organized outlet will make editor siata bakal. Yaje. Ndega journalism start today newspaper. Mojama bija maybe man today newspaper for long. Today newspaper. Nigerian will lente train, will lente karandi journalism la. Will follow in the current journalism la. Bola Adiamo, Hamid Adiamo, brothers. You move lo lente karandi vengol. Mbe koro 2 years ila Njie Boyta they have problems iboraja. I moved to standard newspaper. And they moved to a standard newspaper. I remember na boss atele fana in train because Gambia he is one of the best journalists mashallah Sirif Bojan senior Sirif Bojan Kebama Sirif Bojan Fulala Sota Sirif Bojan Kebama Baba Sirif wolente train. Initially, he had his reservations about me because newspaper those days, neither newspaper newsroom is so very tight. A competition warale because people many are experience already made a saferola made a jindoko. Initially, bring on a story follow a story less of a ajibe. Na story follow me file. When he looked at it, he had his reservations. Amanda Fikantano. But Nterima, who is now in US, Nterima are convinced ata. Just take him, he's good. Sirif Bojan Nenteta Femkodo. But Sirif Yenteta, I started working there. 2 years, no like a standard newspaper. I was appointed the editor. I was only 25 years. No one drone no. In Atale Konyako, we are making you editor. In Kijolem Faram, 25-year-old editor. No, I'm not going to take that. I wasn't comfortable. Because I remember Sekou Jammeh was there. I went to Sekou, I go take on to dinner. Sekou Jammeh, Mobe Sekou Jammeh, former Secretary General, Gambia Press Union. Sekou Jammeh Konyoko, look, you can do this. A very good brother of mine. I always rely on him for his wisdom. I ain't saban in Dogo Konole. I don't all the time, Kalafika not qualify. You know? Because now trust you can do this job. That was when I took the job. I did the job. I had people many along come undermine because they thought ko didn't know, so we will undermine him. Now he's in Canada. He went to Sirif. What was Sirif Boraje? He was in government. He was a minister. He wanted to come and help me. Come back with Kakena proofread that. Yes. Bila Momodu Sabali bende jokang I enjoy mena. But Momodu Sabali knows even well back in the day. Wadu man yaje me problem also. Yaje me ka harass jam. He was detained. I was at the standard newspaper. I story bondi. I story in court, not at a court. It was me in charge of all of that. You know? But you have this idiot. Okay, because Keba, I needed the wisdom and the experience of people that have been there before me. Many you guys are calling me. I'm on. I think I'll have to end this. Yes, this is not frustration. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated. I'm use. Because most I'll be not live video kundukang. You have a lot of people many alongo hakilo le mula problem. Adamade wodo hakilo wala ke samba. Ni ala ye fonde hakilo la drong ite bandile. Hakilo wala ka mo samba. You know? But so what is important? You have all these calls that are coming. So I think I'll just end this here. So, but then just to assure all of you that I'm not frustrated. I'm frustrated. I knew that you have these random people, many executive decision on te. Wolka pabi ringota ka intimidate. For pabi ringoka interview cancel. For Pabinoka interview cancel. Wole nyokuya, wole mkijo fara. I think that is unfortunate. Mr. Dabo munda famalti. Then Mr. Dabo nakuja malatama. Amanke biti. Then Mr. Dabo be all these people shouting on Facebook. Jamabe jambo buka news. Ya jamala time buka newspaper read. Nobody read the newspaper because I know how many copies. Ngola dundi no marsha kon. Warodo ninda newspaper tara menka say na office wala ka siya menka wa sam. People were not reading the newspapers. There was no social media journalism. Woman sort of wato. I know. Ndenga newspaper edit jane. Bring a standard edit. Ngalo nenka newspaper jelle dundi marse kono a day. But wato do la bukasam. Only older people. many alon kebala mol la newspaper ko diara wolel ka newspaper read wolel kay la time wota ka $15 bondi ka newspaper sam those days those days nobody knows Lamin Njie because nda talk at the back page duma editor Lamin Njie talk at world you know. But other than that, Moment Lamin Njie long because there is no TV. Lamin Njie na TV. Ndela na TV is by accident because TV na man kentela passion ti. To sit on TV, probably until in face je on social media, it is purely by accident. Ndela na man lafi television journalism la because I have always seen myself as a newspaper journalist. Yetara computer koma on the background, ila reporter ila stories safe, ya edit, ya dila proofread, ya samba layout, ya lay. Ya later printing ya newspaper printing ya printer. That's all that I had passion for. But nim kultara for change that. And then I am now in the on TV. So everybody should respect everybody. If we do that, then it's going to be okay. At the end of the day, until Bemo killing. Yes, President Barrow win be. Who knows next election tomorrow win. Aladron ne long. Yes, human beings can come out. I can come out in the next 5 years and look at the dynamics and then look at the things and go, okay, but that doesn't make it a fact, or that doesn't make it the truth. It's a phone, and then because voters will let time we find voters will buy this idea. But you can find the banale. Come in, you can find in Balcoron, Katumol Kajafila, Kafanya of Mola, Wolanyanta Banna. Because now, you know why? It is just going to be there. Because I don't have time. I don't have business for all this. Because I don't take this back and forth. If you go to Pamodu Boja, what I for KJ goal. I don't have time for that. Really, I am so busy. I'm trying to fix my life. So the more times people can go out there and say whatever they want to say. That's their problem. They can insult, they can say whatever, they can label me, they can do whatever, brand me, do whatever they want. But at the end of the day, I'm driven by my conscience. I do what I think is right and not what people think is right. You know? So, but at the end of the day, let us respect one another. You know? Just to you know, clarify one or two things here. And really, I appreciate this. If you have people who have a different opinion to yours, I think that is healthy. Is good because you know why? Even the prophet, even God, Allah. You have people that don't believe Allah, but they go Allah soto. You have people who don't even believe that God exists, and it is God who created them, right? Then you have others who are enemies of God because you know, and you have even people that are even questioning God's decisions. Allah the question. So imagine will be opposition. So Adamadin Clinton sotola dunia kono me alanko abavla konte nde antere jawol sotola. Even jawol sotola, of course, and that is healthy. That is good for you. The Prophet alayhi salam, you have people men kafanya farmer. You know, when he came out and said, okay, I traveled to heaven, you know. You have people who said this man is mad. You know, so and then people had their reservations. But that doesn't make it false. That doesn't make it false, you know. So I mean, it's all good. It's all good. I have nothing, no hard feelings. I had nothing against any UDP supporter, because like I said, in the family majority be UDP that majority be UDP that you have NPPJ, you have UDPJ, but we are living Nina and family kono is so beautiful. Political mamol tala, adung political Martin antela do kon kage nyame mang appreciate o mamuta, you know. At the end of the day, like journalist was share banko kane. Ada I was talking about the awards for Nambo Foka. Lamin Njie buka awards soro. I don't want awards. What I want is moliente la do go outside the public. Ndela volen award. Even award la jambe. It's not like binale kodo dinner or it's not like binale your trophy dinner. No. That is not what I want. You know what I want? People cover you go, but you know what you are doing well. Well, that is enough for me. You know, and every day, alhamdulillah, mashallah, shukrullah. Every day, people are calling me how proud they are. You know how far I have come in this job. So Alhamdulillah. But you will have others who think you are bad, which is also fine. Because you know what that does? It helps you to double up, to redouble your efforts, to work harder, to excel and excel and excel, which is all good, you know. Yes, I can be very complicated at times. I can be very complicated in terms of how I do my work. But at the end of the day, mugala fi mem fanana wala mu moya fa bem bulila, wala moya fa bem kudwing la kam blackmail for me to think a particular way or or thread a particular direction. Nde no conscience le can samba. And then how I understand this job to be, you know. But if you think that Lamin Njie is bad, that's fine, you know. And other journalists are good, that's also fine, alhamdulillah. But what is important is that then more journalism under compete come. Journalists, if you bring need handy moon stories if are not. Omitla do go that de hasidi ala kam because mbalo nela do go you worked hard, yake. So all I will do is I will congratulate you. And then I don't even have time. These are my brothers, my sisters. Until we are doing the same thing. We have the same direction. I don't cut him for. It's only in the Gambia journalists all my unite. Unity man soto. Because journalists all be hasidiabe faring us on the mokono. Nganyo jibe nganyo kele. But go to other societies. That is not how they do it in terms of journalists. So Baker Unite. The White House. Journalists owning Trump your problem also. Trump ko journalist wala tajinin kala. And then she had a follow-up question. Journalist omen bebe rumo kono. Ibela wulte ya support ko yes. Iba they are going to allow her to ask. Iba bula la nyinin karol beke. They stood by her. But in that I remember in that our state house I only asked President Barrow a question, you know. Journalists all kontemanya no nyinin kala. They were so mad. Started saying all sorts of things about me. You know? Guess what? Ndango nyinin karo menke. It will better yola kila breaking news even before the story bonded. Everybody ran and then that was their breaking news. But all of that are not important. The Gambia journalists are all my brothers and my sisters. I have nothing against them. Wala na ndamante jenga journalists attack. Hani journalists mistake okay. Nte buka attack. Mbeme nkara wala nina amita. Mba ayitan lalal ko hey look. I think you should have done it this way, you know. But I will not publicly come call out, call out, because mistake all the time in this job. Everywhere in the world, journalists will every time make a mistake all. So why in them monyo me alongo ni wobe dogo clean and the mistake okay no. Ni wo mistake okay nteka la fi kola downfall je nkana afinti nga kumo be forma. Hasidi ya ni kunimbali ankali ajel. Anyways, I have to go. Thank you, for watching. I have to go. Thank you.